6 things that survivors of narcissistic abuse need in a new relationship. When a survivor of narcissistic abuse enters a new relationship, even if there has been a lot of healing work been done before that, we have to keep in mind that relationships are always mirrors. Stuff will always come up, especially if you've been dealing with betrayal trauma. I think this is one of the few things that you cannot fully heal on your own. You cannot heal in therapy alone. I think your new partner needs to show to you over time that you can trust them. That doesn't mean that your new partner is responsible for your further healing. Yeah, this is still the inner work that you need to do by yourself, by doing a lot of self-reflection, especially at the beginning of this new relationship, because there will be stuff coming up. Maybe even on the other side. Maybe it's not just you, maybe also the other person, right? Because at a certain age, I think many of us have gone through a lot of things in life. And yeah, that's just life. So one of the first things a survivor of narcissistic abuse needs in a new relationship is empathy, understanding, and patience. You need to understand where the survivor or your new partner comes from, what their past looked like, what they have been going through, what their needs are in order to make them feel safe. The second thing in order to achieve that is open and honest communication. When you're being triggered, you don't have to lash out. You don't have to fight with your new partner. If you're being triggered or you notice something that kind of reminds you of a past experience, have an open and honest conversation with your new partner. I think it's a very big red flag if you can't have an open and honest conversation. If your new partner becomes defensive immediately or loud and angry, you're probably dealing with something shady here. So the next thing in order to achieve this open and honest communication as well is transparency. Don't do something behind your partner's back that you know may make them feel uncomfortable. Maybe certain relationships you have with others, especially if they are of the opposite gender. You want to bring transparency into that relationship. And that is something that many survivors of narcissistic abuse really, really appreciate when you bring that into a new relationship. Because before they have probably been lied to a lot and they have been gaslit that whatever they perceived was going on behind their back wasn't true. Transparency builds a lot of trust. It's very essential for a healthy relationship. So is the next point, consistency. Consistency also builds a lot of trust over time. If your words and actions are in alignment, that builds trust over time. The next one is reassurance. Sometimes when an insecurity kicks in, the survivor of narcissistic abuse may ask you for reassurance, to ask you where you stand in that relationship, what you feel toward them, and if everything is okay. And the last thing, and this goes for both parties, boundaries. As the new partner, you also need to have boundaries. You cannot take on all the issues from the survivor. They also have to do a lot of, like I said before, they still have to do the work on themselves and a lot of self-reflection. And also if, for instance, you get into an argument, you have to put up a boundary and say, like, up to here, no further, so that also healing can take place.